Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Brad SPTA here, and today we're going to be looking at the shoulder girdle, and we're going to be specifically focusing on downward rotation, depression of the scapula as well, and then kind of the function of when your scapula depresses, what that kind of looks like for body mechanics. All right, and so I'm just going to turn this little illustration over. And so first we're going to be looking at downward rotation. I'm going to be explaining that to you. This motion occurs when the arm is above your head. If you raise your arm above your head, starting in that position, and you lower your arms back down, that would cause downward rotation. And then also if your arm or your humerus is extended behind you, so kind of looking like that, that will also cause downward rotation. And what downward rotation is the inferior angle of your scapula that is going to move downward and inward. So it'll look like that. So it'll go like this. That would be downward rotation. And so the main muscles that help with this motion are the levator scapula, the middle traps, which I don't have here in, but that's one of their main functions, and then also the rhomboids, and then finally the latissimus dorsi. And all of these work together. And if you watched my last video, you understand when you have three or more muscles working together to cause a movement in a joint, that would be considered a force couple. And so here's another great example of what a force couple is. And so next we're going to be talking about the scapular depression. And so that's just when your scapula here just moves downward. So the entire scapula is moving downward. And so what this looks like is when you are in a shrugged motion where your deltoids or your shoulders are, so yeah, if you want to put the camera to me, if your shoulders or deltoids are kind of up, scrunched near your ear, that's going to be elevation. There you go. So this is what elevation would look like when your scapula, dude. All right, here we go. So what depression would look like and kind of the motion for it is sitting right now, my shoulders are elevated. So the motion is starting from here and going back down. So it's depressing. So this is elevated, and then this is depression. So again, kind of from this angle here, your shoulders, you're doing like a shoulder shrug. So when you're relaxing from your shoulder shrug, that is what scapular depression looks like. And so if you want to move back to this board here, and for the key movement for that specific motion, or excuse me, the key muscle for that specific motion would be the latissimus dorsi. Since it kind of goes up from here and attaches kind of towards the inferior angle of the scapula, that's where where it originates, and then it also inserts on the bicipital groove of the humerus, the head of the humerus there. And so since it attaches here on the inferior angle, that helps depress when your lats contract. And so next we're going to be talking about proper scapular function, and mainly talking about the depressive motion with this one. And so you can keep that down there. And so, okay, yeah, I'll start over. Okay. And next we're going to be talking about proper scapular function, which helps prevent shoulder pain and improves posture and strength. Additionally, scapular depression is essential for good body mechanics during activities like bed mobility or using assistive devices. And so I kind of want to show you an example of what this looks like. And we'll be taking this video and cutting it to a different angle so you can see what that looks like. Okay. What am I going to say here, though? Okay. Cool. Welcome back. So now we're going to be using an assistive device here to kind of demonstrate what I'm talking about with the function of the depression motion of your scapula and how it helps people, especially within physical therapy, kind of ambulate if they need help with that. And so when you depress your scapula here, that helps stabilize, and you're using your lat for this, that helps stabilize your lat and keeps you straight upright and keeps your shoulders down. So this is what, with scapular depression, this is what good movement and body mechanics looks like when using the assistive device here. As I'm sitting here, my shoulder. I don't know if this will pick up. It might pick up. If not, oh well. Sorry, I had some mic issues. So again, kind of going back a little bit, what good body mechanics looks like when your scapula depresses is it keeps your shoulders back and down and helps stabilize yourself so you can lift yourself up like this. And so what bad posture would look like, or when your scapula doesn't depress, it'll actually cause your shoulders to go towards your ears and kind of have that like pinch you up in your dude. All right, next God, dude. All right, next we're going to be talking about what it looks like when your scapula doesn't depress and you're having improper function of that movement. And so, as I was telling you before, this is what good, proper body mechanics looks like when your scapula is depressed. When it isn't depressed, you're going to look like this. And so it's really hard for people to use an assistive device or get out of bed if they can't use those stabilizing muscles like that latissimus dorsi to help make them stand straight up and be strong enough in order to move their body. And so that is what great mechanics looks like for scapular depression.